Seems like we've lost audio from the conference room.
Welcome to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. When the meeting begins momentarily, the chair will take a roll call, explain any specific rules for this particular board, and then move to public comment. The name of the board member will appear on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. For instance, this is board member Y, and this is board member E. Public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. You can indicate that you are ready to testify by clicking on the Raise Hand button being circled by the mouse on your screen now. At the appropriate time, the board will recognize you to speak and ask you to unmute your mic as shown here. Again, public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. Public attendees will not be able to unmute their microphone until recognized by the board. Public attendees who are recognized to testify will be asked to identify themselves by name and their affiliated organization if applicable. Please mute your microphone when you are finished speaking as a courtesy to others and members of the board. Public attendees will not be able to unmute themselves after the testimony is completed unless recognized again after raising their hand. At some point during the meeting, the board may choose to move into executive session. When the board moves into executive session, the board members' microphones and video feeds will be turned off, and a similar screen as you see now will be displayed. When the board returns from executive session, their microphones will be turned on as well as their video cameras. Welcome again to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. At this time, the chair will call the meeting to order and take a roll call, as well as explain any additional rules that may be specific to this board.
Okay, welcome to the Board of Public Accountancy, State of Hawaii Board of Public Accountancy meeting for the month of November. Let's call the meeting to order at 8:47. Before I do a roll call, I'll do some administrative items. Internet access. To view the meeting and provide live oral testimony, please use the link at the top of the agenda. You will be asked to enter your name. The board requests that you enter your full name, but you may use a pseudonym or other identifier if you wish to remain anonymous. You will also be asked for an email address. You may fill in this field with any entry in an email format. Your microphone will be automatically muted. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may click the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen to indicate you wish to testify about that agenda item. The chairperson will individually enable each testifier to unmute their microphone. When recognized by the chairperson, please unmute your microphone before speaking and mute your microphone after you finish speaking. For any phone access, if you cannot get internet access, you may get audio-only access by calling the Zoom phone number listed at the top of the agenda. Upon dialing the number, you will be prompted to enter the meeting ID, which is also listed at the top of the agenda. After entering the meeting ID, you will be asked to either enter your panelist number or wait to be admitted into the meeting. You will not have a panelist number, so please wait until you are admitted into the meeting. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may indicate you want to testify by entering star and then 9 on your phone's keypad and entering star and then 9. A voice prompt will let you know that the host of the meeting has been notified. When recognized by the chairperson, you may unmute yourself by pressing star, then 6 on your phone. A voice prompt will let you know that you are unmuted. And once you are finished speaking, please enter star, then 6 and mute yourself. And again, to mute yourself. For both internet and phone access when testifying, you will be asked to identify yourself and the organization, if any, you represent. Each testifier will be limited to 5 minutes of testimony per agenda item. If the connection to the meeting is lost for more than 30 minutes, the meeting will be continued on a specified date and time. This information will be provided on the board's website, and the link is in your agenda. Instructions to the State of Hawaii virtual board meeting may be found online at the link in your agenda. At this time, I'll do a roll call. Let's see. Zach Johnson,
Here.
Robert Kahara.
For Zach, please confirm if you're all alone by yourself.
I am alone.
Okay. Okay, let's see. For Zach, are you alone and in a non-public location?
Yes.
Okay. Robert Kahara.
Here.
Alex Smith.
Here.
Wendell Lee.
Here.
Chris Lee.
Here.
John Arbles.
Here.
I have the chair, Gary Asher here, and we have one member absent. Isabella Gary. And we do have quorum. Okay, agenda item number 2, Chair's report. Is there any public testimony in relation to this item?
Thank you, Chair. This is Johnny. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, I don't have any big announcements. There will be subsequent, I think, agenda items. Hold on one sec. Oh, it's gonna be coming up on agenda item number 8, the permitted interaction group. So no announcements at this time. Agenda item number 3, is there any public testimony related to this item?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay. We actually will be deferring the approval of the minutes for September 27th because there are some, I guess, revisions that need to be made. So as far as the draft, we're actually going to defer that till the next meeting. Right. Agenda item number 4. Are there any public testimony related to this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
With that, I turn it over to the executive officer's report.
For agenda 4I, basically it's for the audit results. We had a 93% for those CPAs without PTP who complied. CPAs with PTP, 94%, and the FPTPs, 95%. The issues is that most of those who did not respond, their letters came back. So I'm trying to find ways. There's no phone numbers on their forms that we have. So, but other than that, because we already sent 2 times, it may be sent to RICO because they were supposed to notify us of any changes of their addresses. So they came back. But the only issue that I had with the CPAs, whether it's PTP or FPTP, was that some of the names, the certificates submitted, William, official name, but on their certificate, they would put Bill Doe. So when we receive them, it does not match. So that's basically the main issue there. And for 4I or 4II, the continuing professional education CPA, we just updated or uploaded something on the internet on our website, because apparently some of those who submit their CPEs, they say they did not know that they were supposed to submit at least 20 credits for the first biennium. They can do more, but they should be providing at least 20. They said, I did not know that. So, but anyway, so we just uploaded that to say that they must submit at least 20 for each year, at least 20, but they can do more, of course. But other than that, that's it on my part.
On the agenda item number 4I, the audit results, The second request deadline is actually November 18th.
Yeah, November, yes, they have 3 more days to
Okay.
submit. If those, we send second letters to.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I think you're in the process of doing that, right? Any discussion?
Just a quick question. What is the resolution if somebody doesn't have the 20? Obviously, it's in arrears. How do you rectify it? So you make your 80, but you didn't do your 20.
Yep.
How do you rectify that situation?
I think when in the previous board meeting, and we can look it up in the minute, I think we're just gonna issue a warning.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, moving on to agenda item number 5. Any public testimony for this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, for this item, I want to have a motion to move into executive session. Can I have a motion to move into executive session to discuss the CPA scores extension request of Dallas Second?
So move, Robert.
This is John, I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to move into executive session. I'll take a vote. Zach Johnson,
Yes.
Robert Carrara,
Yes.
Alex Smith,
Yes.
Wendell Lee.
Yes.
Chris Lee,
Yes.
John Arbol.
Yes.
Gary Mishra, yes. So let's move into executive session. All right, we're back. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Again, back in regular session, agenda item number 5, the CPA scores extension request for Abdallah Seko. The request was made to extend this candidate's CPA exam candidate credit to extend the expired sections of his exam. Based on the evidence that he submitted, I believe we're way past the deadline of any kind of extension request. So I would move to or solicit a motion to deny this extension request. Is there any discussion on that? Nope. Okay, so I guess we'll take a vote. Let's take a vote. So I need a motion to deny the extension credit request for exam credits for Abdallah Seko.
This is John, so moved.
Alex, a second. Okay, moved and second to deny the request. Take a vote. Zach Johnson,
Yes.
Ara,
Yes.
Alex Smith. Yes. Wendell Lee.
Yes.
Chris Lee. Yes. John Arbos.
Yes.
Gary Minshore, yes. Okay, motion carried. The agenda item number 6. Is there any public testimony in relation to this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, the first agenda item number 6I, FEMA educational credits. There was a inquiry sent to the board for accepting Federal Emergency Management Agency's educational credit. And if those credits have been accredited by a national accredited college, the inquiry is on whether we accept those credits as qualified college credits for licensure. Is that correct?
Yeah, so basically what this was is, of course, the board does not, the board only accepts national and regional accreditation. What you're referring to here is, let's say that they took a class from FEMA and they transfer that credit to the University of Hawaii, and how the UH system accepts that, and they send that, the transcript from UH to, does the board then accept that?
On the mechanical level, I guess it's accepted by the accredited institution, but I've never run across this before, so,
So this isn't, is it just out of curiosity? You know, in the email and there's only 5 lines, so it's hard to discern any. But she says she's missing 13 credits of general higher education. So the question is that part of the upper level business that's required, or is it just part of the one?
It's the 30 credits. She has the 120, she has the upper divisions, the whole thing. It's just that she's missing 13 out of the additional 30 credits that she's supposed to have.
I went down the rabbit hole on that. I mean, I looked up what is FEMA credits and how is it offered, and it's a pathway for a cheaper education that, you know, it gives you credits, but I think as long as the transcript that they're submitting counts it as a credit, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, that's just my personal, but that side note to that, I think there was this CLEP credit as well that we might as well maybe consider addressing, because it was CLEP, which is almost like AP credits that you can take. That the credits would then be accepted on the transcript as well. So as long as, to me, the transcript accepts or shows it as a credit, I think as a board member, I would be okay with it.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that says what it is or can't be. I mean, I don't think we can deny it unless there's nothing that says we could deny it. I think.
Yeah, it just says that specifically we're supposed to accept only regional regionally and nationally accredited. So technically FEMA doesn't have that accreditation, but if they transfer it to, like I said, the UH system and they accept it, it's up to you.
Yeah, I couldn't see if there was a connection, like if you receive federal funds, then you have to accept FEMA credits or something. I couldn't find any connection in that regard. So the only thing I didn't like about the FEMA credit was that it was a self-proctored exam in order to get the credit. That was the only part I wasn't comfortable with. But if universities are accepting that as a college, I was not gonna necessarily argue that for it.
I would tend to agree with that.
And looking forward, hopefully if things go to 120.
Yeah, right.
Moot point.
All right, so I don't think there's any board action. It's just a response to the inquiry, right? That we would say, yes, it's acceptable.
Senator, just to clarify, but it does have to be accepted through a university or something. They can't just
Yeah, that's-
bring it in through FEMA.
Yes, right.
Because right now we cannot accept a FEMA credits. So if they go to the university, then if that's okay with you guys, I guess we'll shoot that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we vote on that?
I
You
don't,
could just say response by consensus of the board.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then I think they're just like asking us before they submit an app, right? So
It's probably better to maybe not say anything about that the credits came from FEMA. Is because the point probably is that it's just, if it came through a national accredited university, regardless of what it is, it counts.
Because I think like Robert was saying, right, if the university accepts it and they count it as your university, your college credits, it shows up on a transcript like any other class, right?
right.
There's no difference.
They're assuming responsibility for it,
Yeah.
not us.
For approving it.
Exactly.
Not like we denied PE or something like that either, right? So.
Okay, agenda item number 6, non-attest clarification. There was an inquiry to the board on whether an out-of-state CPA firm can perform non-attest services in Hawaii such as tax preparation, bookkeeping, and financial statement preparation, non-attest without CPA license and firm permit to practice. I believe that inquiry said that if they need to obtain a permit to practice if they're working. Our rules and regulations or law says that if you're holding out to be a CPA, then you do need to obtain one. And that's kind of, to keeping the discussion short, I mean, that's what I believe. I throw it out to the board to, if there's anything to rebut that. I mean, that's always kind of the mantra not the mantra, but that's what our rules and regs say. So, and I don't think the issue of attest versus non-attest is a non-issue because they're holding out to be a CPA to do any services. So I think that's my stance on that. Yeah. So I think, the short answer is yes. If you're holding out to be a CPA and they're saying they're a CPA and the clients believe that that person providing the services are doing it as a CPA in Hawaii and it's Hawaii clients, then they do need to obtain a permit.
So the word.
Like, for example, just in agreement, I totally in agreement with Gary, but for example, the email itself probably could be viewed as that because the bottom of it, he signs his name and he puts CPA. He does not say, not in the practice of public accounting, if he's just a license holder, he's implying that he's a permit holder in the state of Hawaii because he's addressing it to people who are in the state of Hawaii. So he doesn't say, licensed in California, it doesn't say any of that stuff. So even if he's not representing that to his client, if he signs something, if it gets distributed or passed to a different user, all of that stuff could be representation just because he has a state would fall under the board purview for protection of the public in Hawaii.
Yep. Yes. All right, moving on. Agenda item number 7, applications. Is there any public testimony related to this agenda item?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, with that, can I have a motion to move into executive session to discuss the applicants in this agenda item number 7 for CPA applications and, I'm sorry, any of these agenda items, ratification of CPA permits to practice, approval of firm trade names, and CPA applications.
Wendell, so moved.
And John, I'll second.
Okay, move the second to move into executive session. I'll take a vote. Zach Johnson,
Yes.
Robert Kawahara,
Yes.
Alex Smith,
Yes.
Wendell Lee. Yes. Chris Lee,
Yes.
John Harmon,
Yes.
Gary Miyashiro, yes. So let's move into executive session. Okay, are we back?
We're good. We are back.
Okay. All right, agenda item number 7, applications. Ratification, agenda item number 7A, ratification of CPA permits to practice. We have 4 CPA permits. And I have hold on, yeah. And then agenda item 7B, we have approval of firm and trade names. We have one applicant. 7C, CPA applications. We do have 20 applicants. Can I have a motion to approve agenda items 7A, B, and C?
This is Wendell, so moved.
This is Alex, I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded to approve items under agenda 7A, B, and C. Can I take a vote? Zach Johnson,
Yes.
Kawahara,
Yes.
Alex Smith,
Yes.
Wendell Lee,
Yes.
Chris Lee,
Yes.
John Arbus.
Yes.
Jeremy Miyashiro, yes. Applicants and licenses have been approved. Okay, agenda item number 8, is there any public testimony in relation to permitted interaction group?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay. All right, so,
Before this one here, just making sure that whatever was approved from last time is the only topic that we can discuss because we cannot deviate from what was discussed for the pig last time, so.
okay,
Yeah, no, just one other thing too. I mean, so the law, so it might have been a while since we did a permitted interaction group, but the law on pigs is kind of weird. So the way this is set up now, right, I guess there's gonna be a report about this topic
yes,
on the educational experience requirements. The way the law is set up, we can only have the report presented. We can't discuss it. We have to put it again on the agenda for the next meeting, and then we can discuss it further. And if there's any decisions that need to be made, we have to do that at the next meeting. That makes sense. It kind of doesn't, but
so on this, we can just, I can just give a report.
yeah. But we can't discuss it immediately.
That would be for the next one, so that
Okay.
the public can actually have an input on what we will be, yeah.
Okay,
It's weird, but that's how it is. And
so it's just a presentation on,
just a
I'm
presentation.
gonna do this agenda item, I'll just present it
Just a
to the
presentation.
board, okay?
Sorry.
All right, no, that's good advice. I will present our permitted interaction group to the board. Again, the agenda item is the PIG or PIG reports on the evaluation of revising educational and experience requirements for CPA licensures in the state of Hawaii and other alternative licensure pathways. So I, as the chair, I'm part of this group. And again, the other members of the group discussed in last meeting was Wendell Lee, Chris Lee, and John Arlos, which does not constitute a quorum. And we discussed the licensures revising the educational experience requirements for CPA licensure in a as far as changing the current licensure requirements. What the PIG has decided to move forward with is for licensure, taking a baccalaureate degree, requiring a baccalaureate degree, which again is a current requirement, but doing away with the additional 30 credits. And as far as experience, the experience piece for the licensure, we are going with a total of 3 years, which is the 2 years of experience, which has always been there. And then an additional 12 months as an alternative to the 30 credits, the additional 30 credits. So we didn't take the 30 credits off or don't want to take the 30 credits off the books. We want to leave it there, but we give an alternative pathway to that requirement, requiring an additional 12 months of experience. So in the end, a license or a CPA license application will have, as far as education, will be a baccalaureate degree. Experience will be 3 years. That would be one option. And then you can also go with the additional 30 credits if you wanted to. But that's the direction the PIG has discussed. And the report is that I think last time we discussed having somebody sponsoring the bill, which is outside of this board. But we are interacting with those groups and trying to push a bill through a next legislative session. So, it is moving forward, I guess is the report to the board. Okay, so being that there is no discussion on this
So we'll,
item.
yeah, so we'll put that, so Hector, yeah, we'll put that on,
Yep.
for the next agenda.
Next agenda, problem is, next agenda is in February.
It's next year. Yeah.
And that would be after the deadline for the bills. It would be.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
sorry.
yep, no, but that's my report to the board. So again, the board is not the one initiating that action item as a board, but the interaction group is working towards that. All right. Okay, so I guess with that's it. That's the next meeting is what I just mentioned. I think it is scheduled, I believe, for February 2nd. 2025. Early February. Yep. February 2nd, 2025. And at that time,
Usually we go near the end of the month, right?
I'll check to make sure. We had some changes for room purposes and all of those, so we'll confirm. Again, we have to make sure that the rooms are available as well.
Okay.
But once they're in there for the whole year, it normally is set. So we'll check. I'll check to make sure.
So again, next is tentatively scheduled for February 2nd.
Seventh must be, that's the first Friday of February, 7th.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the
Yeah, we'll-
2024 meeting
We'll
schedule.
check on the, because they're still finalizing the rooms.
Sorry.
Not just for us, but for all the boards, because you have to assign all the rooms for the whole year.
Strike what I said. Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at the 2024 meeting.
So we don't.
I guess it is, yeah, gonna be to be determined, I guess, depending on the,
Offhand, I know it's either if 17 is a Friday, that I believe that is the day, because again, we were just revising them last couple of days ago because of the room purposes,
so it
but
would be maybe looking at January.
January 17 if it's a Friday or 15.
Yeah, okay, because that would be 2 months, actually, from now.
Oh, yeah.
And when do we have to put the legislature? What's the latest date?
I would have to check on that, but I know it's sometime in January.
It is what it is.
Is there no way to get it before then, just, in time to send it to the legislature?
No, because the public has to be involved.
I
Well,
mean,
the frequency of the meetings
As
is
far as
an issue.
our agenda, yeah, it has to follow that protocol as far as reporting, but like I said, I think since it's not the board submitting the bill, right? it can
Yeah,
be-
somebody else can submit.
Yeah, somebody else can submit it, yeah. So it's more just that it is a topic for the
Okay.
board purview, but as far as submitting the bill, right? I mean, there's all kinds of bills that's under accountancy that get submitted.
So that's the next step.
Okay, otherwise, meeting adjourned.